2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Denver Nuggets. Well, for Denver, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And we'll get to see Paul Millsap tonight. With Paul, there's a guy who entered the league as a guy who would grind it out on the block, but he's transformed himself into a stretch four the last few seasons. How hard is it to make that change as a big man?
Well, I'm not a shooter, Ernie. I'm a prolific MF scorer. MF stands for most frequently.
Okay.
But I do know for a fact you don't get a good shot overnight. It takes time and effort. He's definitely worked on his game. Usually you work on your shot just to keep defenders honest, but he reminds me of Horace Grant up there 15 feet and out, looking really good.
Well, it's not easy to add a skill when you're in the NBA because pretty much a lot of times the game is set, but, I was
Hello. Hey, you still there? Did you lose your train of thought?
No, I was thinking about myself. I started thinking about myself.
I
started thinking about myself.
Wake up.
Hey.
I just started thinking about myself. I'm sorry. But Millsap has done a great job.
Hey, shake yourself, man.
Jeez.
Hey.
Why are you always talking about you?
We're trying to get this thing going. We're trying to do our jobs.
My bad.
At least maybe pay attention to what we're doing.
I was just a KS kind of scorer.
Kevin Harlan standing by. He's got the call.
That's what I was searching for. I forgot. I was like.
We are live from the home of the Pistons, Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. This is Kevin Harlan. With the Denver Nuggets, they won their last contest, that game against the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, struggled to shoot the basketball in that game, but still found a way, if you will. I mean, they had to pick up the slack in a lot of other areas, and they did.
You're not going to be on all the time, and they were prepared for that and scraped and clawed their way to a victory.
Tip-off goes to Denver. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Denver. Down low, it's Millsap and Jokic. Will Barton is out there with Murray, and it's Chandler in at the three, the small forward.
And one of the things about Will Barton's game that to me makes him such a force is how unpredictable he can be. He plays at times almost like a man out of control, and it really does work to his advantage as he is a difficult guy to deal with in those one-on-one situations.
Now here's Murray, following the miss by Griffin. Now Murray. He had 16 points in the win against Indiana.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points. Even when the D is breathing down his neck, Murray gets it done. Just an amazing shooter with an impressive stroke.
Jackson kicks to Johnson. Feeds it to Griffin. To the paint. Pistons passing it around. Clock at 6. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And we all know Blake Griffin, Steve, is a scoring forward, but he has a very well-rounded game. Besides being an excellent ball handler, he is also one of the best passing bigs in the NBA.
I agree. He's done a nice job of improving in that area. Being able to pass out of the post, pass off the dribble, has a great sense of timing, and could put a pass exactly where he wants.
Free throw drops for Griffin. And when the Nuggets are clicking on offense, Greg, they are a joy to watch.
You know they are, and one reason is because they're one of the better passing teams in the league. And right near the top in terms of assists per game last season. And all players on this roster at all positions look to make that extra pass to get an easy bucket.
Blake Griffin hits them both.
Griffin doesn't do it as often anymore, but he is still one of the top dunkers in the league. He just rises up and finishes with a lot of power. There was a time when he was good for a poster dunk every game.
Now, here's Jokic. 11 points for him in that last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
Yeah, and that was a rock of a screen there set by Millsap.
Here's Kennard. Outside Griffin. To the wing right side. Drummond with a screen on Barton. Kennard's shot is off. And Steve, Griffin's still a fantastic dunker, as you said, but it's something he's done less and less as he's grown as a player.
Yeah, you think of him, and you will, as one of the best dunkers of all time, but he's not really doing that a lot anymore. It's better for his game long-term to switch off trying to slam it home every time and just play the game at a great level.
Now here's Chandler. An 11-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
And he did great work on the defensive end, too, with 3 steals on the night.
And that one's good. Millsap.
Paul Millsap is a workhorse inside.
Pistons trail by 5. Jackson dishes to Johnson. Back to Jackson. And it's sent back by Jokic.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
Barton. And oh, he's blocked it and deflects off the backboard. The Pistons have gone 0 of 4, missing their first 4 field goals here. Millsap with the steal. Chandler against Johnson. The dish to Barton. Fires the 3. They get the rebound, and it's Millsap with the extra effort.
I'm impressed with the motor of Millsap, always around the ball.
Outside Jackson, shot to stop the run, and it's Denver with the rebound. Jokic has got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game. And jumping out like this, man, you automatically start thinking blowout.
Double digits in the first quarter. The only thing they have to avoid is taking their foot off the gas.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
Now here's Jackson. He had 13 points in the win against Boston. Johnson attacking, and Stanley Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
The Nuggets leading by 11. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, I caught up with Coach Mike Malone. He told me this is a fun night trying to slow down a team that's so smart and opportunistic. He said, look, we've scouted them, but this is the first time we've actually seen them this season. So it will be interesting to see if we can disrupt their offense and slow them down just a little bit. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, Dave, guys, how hard a job is it going to be to keep this team's shooting percentage down?
It's going to be very difficult. I mean, they move the ball well. They've got players who can go off if the defense isn't solid through and through.
They must win the turnover battle. Nothing disrupts an imposing offense more than coming up with some steals.
Steve, you talk about a gym rat. Paul Millsap adds another wrinkle to his game every single year.
You know, Paul is a great example to follow. Never the biggest or the most athletic. Millsap's work ethic is what's made him an all-star.
Here's Jackson. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Drummond a screen. Jackson kicks to Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
The agile feet of Drummond. He's like a dancing bear out there. Nice roll off the pick.
Denver leading by 11. It's Barton on the wing. Pass to Jokic. Rebounded by the Pistons. This the first chance to take a look at the Nuggets this season.
And their series last year was a bit of a comparison between the two conferences. Both were in the middle of the pack.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Reggie Jackson, the Boston College Eagle, when he is on the floor, you can see how he acts as a spark plug for his team. Steve, a very creative player whose big strength is getting things going on offense.
And wherever Reggie's been, he's been great in that role of catalyst. When he's injured, you can see how the offense changes. Very underrated as a playmaker in this league.
He misses the free throw. You know, Stephen, I think of Stan Van Gundy, I think of versatile, because we all know he's the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, but he's in charge of all their personnel moves, too. This guy's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, he does. I mean, when you start to look at it, he's wearing 2 hats. And one thing, he's doing a good job trying to run his organization from a management standpoint and also from a culture standpoint. So far, so good for Stan.
And he's good on the second.
You know what? He has insane athleticism, Blake Griffin, but you see the reason why he's become a franchise player. He's added the mid-range game, and he can pass it.
Now here's Barton. He had 10 points in the win against Indiana.
And his shot blocking helped as well. Those 2 blocks he had were big for them.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Pistons trail by 10. Outside Jackson. He dishes it to Griffin. Johnson against Chandler. Chandler with the steal. And here we go. Makes it off the glass. Chandler's got his first points of the night.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Dominate on the court, and it's showing up on the scoreboard. Let's see if they can maintain this level of intensity.
Well, last season for Reggie Jackson, he just couldn't get back to full strength. Missed a lot of time, Greg, as you know, with that injury to start the year. And even when he returned, his legs wouldn't cooperate and give him his usual burst and acceleration.
Yeah, and you could see it in Jackson's performance and really the numbers. Steep drop in production from what he had been putting up, and very dependent on his burst. So hopefully he can avoid any leg troubles moving forward.
The first one falls.
You know, he was the 24th pick in 2011. I think it's safe for us to say Jackson's outplayed that draft slot.
So he gets them both.
And this is what we've come to expect from him. This type of consistency from the line.
Barton passes to Fareed. Back to Barton. Drummond working against Jokic. The shot by Chandler wide open. Chandler with another miss. Pistons trail by 10. On the wing, Jackson. He's covered by Murray. Here's Drummond, and it's sent back by Jokic. Murray dishes to Barton. Up again. The rebound by Johnson. The Pistons have gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. We take a look at the Warriors. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And checking out Denver. Not in the same realm right now in terms of their record.
And you know, for the Nuggets, they've just lacked that one extra piece that could put them over the top this season. They haven't been able to kind of set themselves apart.
What they've done, they've kept themselves in the playoff picture, though. They haven't been spectacular, but they're still in the race. And we all know anything can happen in the postseason.
Detroit shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. The first one falls. Some players will actually surprise you with their athleticism after they come into the league. They make that next step. Any guys, Smitty, that became more athletic once they arrived that you have seen in the league?
You know, that's interesting. Draymond Green has gotten more athletic. I think he's lost a lot of weight and put himself in a position to play a little bit more above the rim and with his quickness. That's the one guy that sticks out. I will say, a guy that I've been marveling about, Kevin, is Jabari Parker. After his injury, it seemed like his athleticism has gone to another level.
And here's Harris from the arc. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Harris has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear this is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
Detroit making a switch here. Galloway's checked in. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Nuggets.
And their offense centered around the 3-point shot. That was the guiding principle on every trip. Their first goal was finding an open look beyond the arc, getting that extra point every chance they could.
Now here's Lure. 8 points his last outing.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Not only does that dunk help in cutting into this league, but it gives this team a real confidence boost, too.
And with the Pistons, this has been the identity the team has been aiming for under Stan Van Gundy. It's taken shape, but has yet, Greg, to produce big results.
I think it's because they've just always been 1 or 2 pieces short of making that next jump. I think the conference has gotten stronger, and while their best players are really good, I don't think they're quite at that elite level yet to allow this group to take that next step.
For Detroit, they have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
No good on the free throw. Well, you know that a Stan Van Gundy team is going to be a disciplined team, and the Pistons were no exception last season.
Totally true. This team doesn't foul or give up the ball easily. Minimal turnovers per possession, second in the league. They close out well and they rebound well. Both signs of a team that has the fundamentals down.
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. Down low, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
And really focused on establishing dominance down low. And, guys, it's working.
They have played physical. They have owned the paint. And they have built up a decent lead here in the first.
Now here's Ennis. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Tolliver. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis. The Nuggets leading by 9. Harris kicks to Harris. Denver passing it around. Screen by Fareed. Here's Hernangomez and misses it off the right side of the rim.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
That's a 2 from Smith. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. The Nuggets shooting it well so far today, guys. They've connected on 48% of their shots. And Fareed kicks to Harris. Fareed setting the pick for Harris. Now, here is Hernangomez. Defense is right there. Just 5 on the clock. High arcing shot, and it's Lure with the rebound. Pistons trail by 7. There's the pass to Tolliver. Stolen by Fareed. And oh, here we go. Harris, nobody back.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Steve, so let me ask you this. Do players consciously think about, I need a couple free throws, I need a couple of layups, I got to get a couple of shots per quarter? I mean, do they try to plot and plan an individual quarter like that and how they're going to score in different ways?
You're totally right, Kevin. The reason why is because as a 2 guard back in the day, if I could get to that free throw line and put a foul on a guy that's guarding me, that loosens up his defensive mentality. He's not as aggressive. And then now I know when I get to the bonus, I can drive it. He's either going to let me go or I can create contact and get to that line. You want to score easy, and that's how most scorers do. They really score easy. We just kind of applaud them when they're knocking down threes and big shots.
And here's Smith after Gary Harris made that last 3-pointer. Smith, the pass to Ennis. Yep, it counts. Ennis has got his first 2 points of the night.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
And here is Harris. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And it's off target, not sure why he took that one. Pistons trail by 11. Smith dishes to Galloway. Back to Smith. And Lure kicks to Smith. Misses the 3. 1:09 left to play in the first quarter. Shots good by Hernangomez.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Do they start to coast or do they go right for the juggler?
Denver leading by 13. Harris outside. Harris outside. Off target with his 3.
Wow, and this is his range. Maybe he was too wide open.
Smith, the pass to Lure. And there's the feed to Galloway. No good that time. Some solid defense from Harris. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's the 3. Denver the rebound. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. And the Nuggets lead by 15.
And they've done the job on the offensive glass.
Ennis, good on the 3-point shot. Ennis has got 5 points so far. Harris outside. Fires the 3. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Nuggets lead by 12. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game alongside his older brother. His dad was his coach, and he credits his brother for inspiring him to work at his craft.
You know, watching him kind of go through the process of he started to get, recruited by college coaches, and then he, really took his game and became serious about it. And I watched his work ethic, and I watched how he, put the time in, the things he did, and that's kind of where I developed mine.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. Doesn't hurt to have a dad also who's a pro player either, and also a college coach.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And guys, we've seen the Nuggets really take control here.
I mean, a solid first quarter, especially looking at that plus turnover ratio.
Take care of the basketball, being disruptive on D. That combination has them out in front.
On the floor for Denver as we get going here in the second quarter. Harris and Hernangomez outside of the 2 and the 3. Plumlee out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Harris in at the point guard position. Now here is Smith. Here's Ennis. To the right side. Tolliver for 3. Offensive rebound. Tough break there. Shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. Now here is Harris. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And that's a tough one. But on those illegal screen calls, the defender's never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Some guys, they just know how to get away with it, and some don't.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for John Lure. Griffin comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Ennis. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Smith. Now here's Johnson. Chandler with the steal. Wide open look here for Murray. And it's Griffin with the rebound. Griffin's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And you see no one rotating over to try and take the charge. Drummond a freight train there with a full head of steam.
Here's Murray. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Here's Harris. That's short off the rim.
He was all alone. Looks like he gets a little too relaxed. He has to maintain his focus. That's just 2 tough competitors meeting right at the rim. Someone, in my opinion, had to lose. Paul Millsap was shopped around by the Atlanta Hawks last season. A lot of speculation about where he would end up this summer, but you knew he would get paid.
And here's Jackson after Gary Harris made that last 3-pointer. Griffin kicks to Jackson. Back to Griffin. And Griffin slams it in.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
The Nuggets leading by 11. And Millsap dealing with some knee tightness down the stretch last season.
Combined with his age, that might hurt his market just a bit. Still, for a player of his caliber, you knew there'd be a team willing to open the floodgates.
The Pistons have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Jackson dishes to Galloway. Back to Jackson. Passes it to Griffin. Tipped away. Chandler outside. No good on the triple. Pistons trail by 11. Harris outside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Smitty, would you ever be interested in joining a team as a general manager or a personnel guy in a front office in the league?
I would, Kevin. I mean, I love everything about the game of basketball, and obviously played it, been in broadcasting. But a GM role is something I've always talked about. Coaching, front office, whatever it may be, I'll be happy because I'm in a game of basketball. And then, Kevin, if I get that job, are you coming with me?
I'm always with you, by your side and ready to go. But let me ask you, when you were playing, Steve, did you consciously think, hey, someday I might be a coach, or I'd like to sit up in the stands and evaluate talent? Does it go through your mind in the throes in the middle of your career?
Yes, it does. And a lot of the guys, I would say my mentors, one was Lenny Wilkins. He did a fantastic job. Player coach at one time. I've talked a lot to him. My wife and Joe Dumar's wife are sisters, so me and Joe have a close relationship. Pat Riley, I picked the brains of the best, and hopefully one day I'll get that chance, and hopefully I'll make that move. But right now, I'm loving what I'm doing.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Murray with it. He feeds it to Harris. Jokic a screen. Harris kicks to Millsap. Clock at 6. It's Jokic, top of the key. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And the Nuggets lead by 12.
Paul Millsap with great court vision, spotting the open man.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. And the Nuggets over the past few seasons have done a great job as an organization of collecting talent.
And with that steady approach, they've been able to develop a star with Jokic. The Nuggets took a very disciplined approach to building this team, and you can see the depth they enjoy, and it all starts with the job this front office has done.
Martin's checked in for Gary Harris. Jackson passes to Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
And it's gotten to this point, Drummond finishing with authority on a consistent basis.
The Nuggets leading by 10. Barton kicks to Jokic. Right wing. Jokic a screen. Pass to Millsap. And that one is off. Nice D from Griffin. The Pistons have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Jackson misses. Denver's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Murray kicks to Barton. And it's sent back by Drummond.
The foot speed to get in position, the quickness of the jump. Drummond with raw talent as a shot blocker.
Jackson gets the bucket.
He can be masterful in there, especially when there's no rim protection.
Now Murray. Barton outside. Lets it go from deep. Keeps it alive. Jokic on the follow. Jokic has got 6.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Now here's Griffin. Pass to Kennard. Jackson in the corner. 6 to shoot. Drains it from beyond the arc. Jackson's got 7 points here in this quarter.
His temperature is rising. I mean, it is rising.
There's a good screen. Barton kicks to Murray. Jokic a screen. Dishes at the Millsap. Jokic on top. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. 8 points for him.
I love the confidence he's shooting with. Big improvement here in the second period.
Picked by Griffin. And stolen by Murray. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Over Jackson. And again, it's Denver.
Love the commitment from Murray on defense, moving his arms all around to come up with these steals.
Jackson dishes to Johnson. Back to Jackson. Johnson outside. He kicks to Drummond. 5 on the clock. Here's Kennard. Shot's good. Griffin making the play.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Murray, the pass to Barton. Kicks to Millsap. Back to Barton. Jokic a screen. Barton dishes to Chandler. Trains the three-pointer. Chandler's got 5 points so far.
You can see there the defender allows himself to get picked.
You know, it's all about effort. Sometimes you're going to get hit on hard screens. You just have to fight through them.
Out of bounds. Denver takes possession.
That's what happens when nothing goes your way. You start to lose focus, and it makes matters worse.
The Pistons making a change here. Ennis is checked in, and Denver also making a switch. Fareed is checked in. Now here's Murray. Jokic with a screen on Jackson. Here's Murray. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Pistons trail by 12. Now the pass to Kennard. Again, the Pistons score.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Here's Barton. 5 points in the game. Here's Jokic. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And last season, how about the jump to true stardom that Jokic was able to make? There was a stretch where every game he just looked more and more incredible. Truly gave this team, I think, a franchise player in the blink of an eye.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
Free throw, good. Jokic. And for so many fans, Greg, of Jokic, it wasn't a surprise to see his play blossom last season.
Yeah, and boy, did he. Jokic is so skilled for a big man, having played point guard growing up. Still very young and looks to be a star for a long time.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. John Lure, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Blake Griffin. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Now, here is Smith. Feeds to Ennis. And Lure wide open. He shoots it. A 3-pointer off the mark. Denver leading by 12. Harris with it. Now guarded by Ennis. On the wing, Harris. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Jokic, no good.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
Yeah, field goal percentage above 50 now. Their offense is starting to show.
And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And one thing that you can say about this Pistons team is they are fundamentally sound, strong on the glass and closing out possessions, and they really don't make a lot of mistakes.
For Denver, they have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. Greg, with the Pistons and their discipline as a team, part of their great rebounding means they allow very few second chance points, one of the fewest allowed in the league last season.
And couple that with how strong they've been at taking care of the basketball. Low turnover numbers as well as points allowed off of those turnovers. And with that rebounding, I think it makes for very measured basketball. As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Out left to the wing. Back to Smith. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Kennard. He can't get it to go. Barton with some nice D. And Harris wide open. He shoots. Cans the shot with nobody near him. And the Nuggets lead by 14. Detroit's gone 3 of 7 tonight from 3-point territory. There's the dish to Tolliver. Smith on the wing. Shoots. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
The defense slow to react that time. Smith makes them pay using his quickness.
The feed now to Fareed. There's the pick. Inside, here's Hernan Gomez, and it's Lure with the rebound. Lure's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Kennard, the pass to Tolliver. To the wing on the left. Count it, and the Nugget lead has been cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Kennard.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Screen by Fareed. Here's Barton. Off the left rim and out.
I'll tell you what, his shot's off, but the rest of the team is on. That's why they're still winning.
Smith for 3. The offensive rebound. Ennis gets it down to single digits. Ennis has got 7 points.
Oh, easy put back. No one got a body on it.
And there's one thing you're trying to minimize. It's second chance opportunities. Poor defensive rebounding for them.
Now here's Barton, who's got 5. Passes it to Jokic. A baseline J. Rebound by Ennis. Ennis has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Smith outside. Beyond the arc. Ennis misses.
You know what, I'll tell you, he's got nothing here in the second quarter after just 1 made shot in the first.
Hernan Gomez gets to Harris. Jokic against Lure. Barton in the corner. Jokic a screen. Barton missing again. Smith kicks to Tolliver. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Tolliver's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Taking what the defense offers up, Smith with good vision there finds the open man.
For 3, Harris. And so it's the Denver Nuggets with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Here with Coach Mike Malone. How has ball movement opened up things for you offensively?
Every game we have where we get into a one-on-one game, over-dribbling, not passing, we become very easy to guard. The good thing about tonight is the ball is moving. We're trying to make plays for each other. When we move the ball, we get high percentage shots, which is all we can ask for.
Thanks very much for your time, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. After 2 quarters, it's Denver out in front. They have the 6-point lead. Kenny, what do you think?
Efficiency. You know, I think that's big. That's a key to success. You got to protect the basketball. You can't make those risky passes that lead to highlight film dunks. So I thought it was a great job.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
I like the way they rebounded. They devoted a lot of energy down low, fighting for each other on the boards, and they helped keep this game tight. If they can continue to do that, it could easily be the factor that swings the game in their favor.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. It's been quite a game for Gary Harris.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, you like to run more doubles at him, but the risk there is opens up things for everybody else.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Pistons trail by 6. Jackson is out there with Kennard. Then it's Johnson. Then there's Griffin. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. A second chance effort. And the layup is up and in. Drummond's got the first points to start out the third quarter for Detroit.
No, they didn't put enough body on Drummond. He has too much talent for that.
Millsap a screen. Barton outside. Millsap kicks to Murray. Jokic sets the screen for Murray. And it's sent back by Drummond. They get it back. And that one's good. Jokic. Jokic has got 14 points.
And just carrying over from his last game, completely dialed in. You can sense his confidence.
I totally agree. Heat check after heat check. He realizes, man, I'm still hot.
Now here's Jackson. Drummond. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. And that's 10 points for Andre Drummond. Chandler against Johnson. Now here's Chandler. D right on him. Millsap a screen on Griffin. Griffin with the steal. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. There's a good screen. Kicks it out to Johnson. Tries again. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. Paul Millsap picks one up.
A five-star recruit out of high school, Drummond, one of the more talented centers we have in the game.
For several years, you've looked at Andre Drummond, and the first word that comes to mind is potential. He is still learning, still developing, certainly, but you know, you wonder, Steve, if he's starting to approach the type of player he's going to be in Plateau.
You know, let's be clear. He's a great player, but people might have overshot what he could have been. Needs to play with a bit more urgency, but he's still young, and he can make another leap in his play.
The first free throw is good. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
Do you see the frame on Andre Drummond? Easy for me to see why he can shed off so many defenders inside. He's incredibly strong, hard to stop when he gets near the rim.
Now here's Murray. He dishes it to Millsap. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Underrated, the strength of Millsap, able to power through.
And the strength of Andre Drummond, you talked about it, Steve. It's not just upper body, but lower body as well. He can open up a lot of space if he gets the ball down low.
You know, once he gets it in the paint, there's nothing you can do. His footwork off the block is coming along well. It's a process for him to refine his moves.
And really, the Nuggets, a stronger team than many had predicted last season. One area that troubled them was the defensive end. And when they would lose, it was usually by being unable to come up with consistent stops.
Now here's Johnson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. That shot by Griffin, no good. The Nuggets leading by 6. Martin left side. Pass to Jokic for 3. The shot, no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. And for the Nuggets and their defensive issues, Greg, a lot of it stemmed from their lack of rim protection.
Yeah, the inability to challenge shots in general, for that matter. And they also had problems applying pressure and forcing turnovers as a team at the bottom of the league in terms of turnovers forced.
He is really forcing things now. Doesn't have to do it because his teammates are picking up the slack. Beasting on defense. First, he closes out hard on the shooter, then he attacks the glass. Filthy.
Jokic on the follow. Jokic has got 4 points this quarter.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip-in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there. Now here's Jackson. 9 points in the game so far. Offensive rebound. Drummond, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Flexing the power. Drummond takes the hit, finishes through it. Potential and 1.
This is his third free throw attempt of the game.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Detroit. The Nuggets also changing it up. Plumlee, he's checked in for Jokic. And it's Gary Harris in for Barton.
One shot.
Free throw, no good for Drummond.
Well, a bit of a disappointing season for the Pistons last year. I thought they were ready to turn a corner with this group. End up missing the playoffs for the 7th time in 8 years.
Now here's Chandler. He's got 5. Millsap misses.
Well, if you're the coach, you're frustrated right now. That's exactly the look you're trying to get on offense.
Johnson drops one in from the wing. Johnson's got his first points in this one. And for the Pistons, they know they needed to get better and make changes for this season. They did what they could do in that regard.
Kevin, you just wonder if this team is at a crossroads. They need to decide if they should miss the playoffs again. Is it time to rebuild? I look at this Piston team. The one thing they have to do is develop their young guys.
Just 2 to shoot. Deep 2 from Murray. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. Out to the right wing. Count it. And the Nugget lead has been cut down to just 1 on the basket from Galloway.
I mean, just a good shooter taking what the defense allows. Find some space out beyond the arc.
Chandler a screen. Chandler with the screen on Jackson. Harris kicks to Chandler. Back to Harris. A 3-ball. Rebound, Detroit.
Trying to get his man back for the last 3. It helps to not make this personal.
Griffin's shot is good.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Now here's Murray. Harris dishes to Plumlee. Harris inside. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
He had just enough breathing room around the basket, and he found a way to convert it.
And here's Jackson. 9 points in the game so far. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Chandler with the steal. Deep 2 from Murray. Offensive rebound. Millsap. And Griffin sends it back.
I love the defensive intensity from Blake Griffin on that play.
There's Jackson with the 3. The rebound by Wilson Chandler. Denver in the lead. To the middle. Here's Millsap. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Millsap's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Really another fantastic offensive rebound and putback. This is the 2nd game in a row where he has just been ball dominant.
When he gets into one of these grooves, you never know how long they're going to last. Sometimes they go on and on and on. He's being aggressive, trying to turn around the team's fortunes, but he's having a hard time executing. He's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not to be.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And then Griffin with the dunk.
Good eyes by Drummond. He's working on this. Spots the open man, delivers the dime.
Denver's gotten blank from 3-point land so far in the 3rd. Still 0 for 3. Harris kicks to Millsap. And Murray now top of the key. He feeds it to Harris. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Denver needs to get off a shot. Near the 3-point line, it's Millsap. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
I mean, you can see it. He's way out of sync. It's been this way all quarter for him.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a 3-point play. And Stanley Johnson, the youngster out of Arizona, grew up in Los Angeles where he was the high school player of the year. You know, Steve, he hasn't had the easiest time adjusting to the NBA, but he certainly has room to improve, and right now the offense just isn't there for him.
You know, the question is, people are saying, is time ticking away for Stanley to prove that he's a rotation player? He's kind of predictable on offense.
One shot,
people pushes him to go right because he only goes right. Just hasn't developed the way the team was hoping for.
Nuggets trail. Plumlee with a screen on Smith. Harris kicks to Hernan Gomez. Back to Harris. To the inside. 11 feet away. And it's off the back rim. No good. Detroit's gone into a slump here from three-point range. Shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Galloway, the pass to Smith. Over Harris. Detroit, no good that time either. It's a neck-and-neck game in Detroit. They've got the Hawks ahead of them in their next game, and it's in Atlanta. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Harris kicks to Fareed. It's deflected, and they get it back. Back to Plumlee. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Tries again. Knocks it loose, and the ball goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Fareed.
And taking a look now at the stats for Johnson. His last 10 games, he's putting up about 8 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
You need guys who understand their roles, carry them out without complaint. Everything he does is for the team.
And Lure gets it to go.
And you talk about fighting your way back into a game. They've shown a lot of grit in this comeback.
Tremendous composure on display. When they were down big, they did not panic. They just stuck with the game plan.
Now here's Ennis. 7 points in the game. Tolliver dishes to Smith. Here's Galloway. His three-pointers off the mark. The Nuggets trail by 4. Trying to get back on track, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Barton.
And these sorts of nights can happen. I mean, an extremely rough outing from him in terms of his efficiency. And at this point, the only thing you can hope for is to try to get into some sort of rhythm. Get a couple in a row, try to get to the free throw line, and build some confidence.
And that one misses. And he's good on the second. Pistons leading by 3. Now here's Ennis. He has 7. Dishes it to Lure. He kicks it to Smith. And it's sent back by Plumlee. Here's Harris. And another miss by Denver. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. The Nuggets, number 1. 5th on the list, the Pistons.
I mean, both of these clubs rebounding at such a high rate. They're not just creating second chance opportunities, but even third and fourth opportunities at times.
Now here's Fareed, following the miss by Gary Harris. Plumlee, the pass to Fareed, 13 feet away. Got a hand on it. Now, here is Hernan Gomez, guarded closely. Doubled by Smith. For the tie. Hernan Gomez, no good.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Lure sets the pick for Smith. Lure up top. No one near him. Denver grabs the miss.
A high percentage look from the mid-range. Might have been surprised that he was so wide open.
Screen by Fareed. Harris kicks to Fareed. Chalk up 2 there. Fareed's got his second basket of the game.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Kicks it to Ennis. And the pass to Tolliver. Now here's Ennis. Hernan Gomez covering. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And it's sent back by Plumlee. And here we go for the lead. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
The Nuggets have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
That one drops. He ties it up. Kennard, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. Jokic has checked in for the Nuggets. Will Barton comes in for Harris. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. We've got 1:23 left in the third quarter. Smith with it. He averages about 5 points a game. Here is Tolliver. Smith dishes to Tolliver. Here's Lure. Shot to end this cold run. That one falls. Tolliver's got 8 points. Third quarter here and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Harris passes to Barton. There's 47 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Jokic. And Fareed throws it down.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent MGA from converting that one.
He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the league, and he demonstrated why right there.
Here's Smith following the basket by Kenneth Fareed. Here's Ennis. Knocked loose. Here's Lure. That shot off. Some solid defense from Fareed.
And quarter's almost over. You don't want to give the ball back here.
Gotta be smart about it. Even if you miss, you want to leave no time on the clock.
Kept alive. Got a hand on it. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. The Nuggets on top. They lead by 1. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And now let's take a listen to Stan Van Gundy on a recent huddle.
It's got to turn right now. They can't play harder than us. They cannot. Come on.
An impassioned speech from Stan Van Gundy. He's the best, huh? Trying to fire up his players.
Yeah, and for them at this point, it's about want to. You can talk all day, but how bad do you want it?
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And Denver will start the fourth quarter with Fareed down low with Jokic. Harris is out there with Will Barton. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the small forward position. That one is off. He hits the second from the line.
Well, they should be looking at a three-point lead. Hopefully for them, that miss won't cost them.
Over to the left wing. Here's Kennard. Martin defending. Kennard's shot is off. Harris outside. Passes it to Jokic. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, easy call.
First free throw is good. And he makes both free throws.
That's a huge advantage, having a big guy who can shoot free throws like this.
Here's Kennard. Feeds it to Tolliver. Down low. Oh, that's blocked. Martin with it. Now Smith defending. Here's Hernangomez. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. And the Nuggets lead by 6. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Here's Kennard. Martin defending. The dish to Tolliver. Ennis kicks to Smith. Back to Ennis, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. They get Devin Harris.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. For the Pistons, Griffin's checked in for Tolliver. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Smith. And then for Denver, Paul Millsap's checked in for Reed. Chandler comes in for Hernangomez. And it's Jamal Murray in for Devin Harris. And Ennis drops them both. Denver leading by 4. Murray kicks to Jokic. Chandler outside. Over Griffin. Misses off the left iron.
You know, this is a time when you don't have to force anything. You're in command of this game.
Count that one.
This is what you get from Reggie Jackson now. Powering through contact and has the focus to complete the play.
Now here's Barton. The feed to Murray. Millsap a screen on Jackson. Millsap dishes to Chandler. That's good, and it's Millsap with the assists. Millsap's got assist number 5 here tonight. Pistons trail by 4. In the corner, it's Griffin. Jackson from long range. Jackson can't get that one to fall.
And that's rough. He did have 3 in the first half, but hasn't had one since.
Chandler goes in. Jokic, that shot is in, just like 6 others have been for him. He's shooting 7 for 15.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Pass to Griffin. Lure the screen. And the call up against Jokic. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
So for the Pistons, Andre Drummond comes in for Lure. And it's Johnson in for Ennis. Outside Jackson. And Griffin, here we go.
Griffin is one of the best scorers in the game, so now you see him going well. Get him the basketball.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. Chandler outside. With some arc. He's off on that one. Great D that time from Johnson. He dishes it to Drummond. Here's Kennard. Nailed from 3-point land. And now just a 1-point Denver lead.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the 3 in transition.
The thing is, you want to do everything you can to help your team, and sometimes you just try to do too much.
To the middle. Millsap with the steal. Murray, the pass to Chandler. The baseline J. The putback, and it's Millsap with the extra effort.
Just has that feel for the game, a feel for how to generate points, and that was a thunderous putback by Millsap.
Now here's Jackson. He feeds it to Drummond. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Jackson in the corner. Just 5 to shoot. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there.
In this second half, the defense have been baiting him to shoot the three, and we're seeing why.
Pistons trail by 5. Pass to Griffin to the right side. Here's Kennard. Martin defending. And Griffin, here we go. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Griffin's got 4 points in the quarter.
When Blake sees a lane to the basket, it looks like his eyes lights up and he attacks.
And there's the pass to Jokic. Here's Barton. Barton missing again. The Pistons have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Passes it to Kennard to tie it up. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. It's a tie ball game.
The playmaking of Reggie, a work in progress, but looking good right there.
Now Barton. Kennard with the rebound. The Pistons have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Inside, he's looking for Drummond and finds him.
And nothing fancy really about that play. That's just good old-fashioned hard-nosed basketball to get that one.
Here's Chandler, and the shot is long.
Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset.
And the basket by Johnson.
Yeah, great post position. That's going to be key here in crunch time.
No doubt. As close as this game is, I think it's going to come down to which team controls the paint down the stretch.
Now here's Chandler. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Throw good, Wilson Chandler. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Detroit's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Jackson kicks to Griffin. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Jokic has got 13 rebounds in the game. Seeding. Chandler's shot, good.
And a lot to like about that play, particularly how it ends.
Yeah, at the rack. That's what you want in transition, a high percentage look.
Now here's Jackson. Johnson in the corner. Outside Jackson. Clock at 4. Jokic with the steal. Fires from 14. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Jokic.
Two shots.
He misses the free throw.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today. And unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
And he's good on the second. For Denver, they've gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Barton kicks to Jokic from 13, but he gets it back. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
And he makes the first. And so he hits both. And here's Jackson. Dishes it to Drummond. Pass to Kennard. Shot clock at 5. Rebound by the Nuggets. Barton's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And here's Chandler from the arc. That shot misses. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Here's Kennard. Barton with some nice D.
Fantastic rim protection. That's not in his wheelhouse to overcome.
And good that time. Barton's got 4 points in the quarter.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. One of the stories here, Nikola Jokic getting it done today.
The man has been relentless scoring inside, attacking the rim every chance he gets. Their defense has been powerless to stop him. We'll see what adjustments they make coming out of this timeout.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Nikola Jokic.
Plain and simple, his scoring is what made him our pick tonight. Even when the D's given him all their attention, they just have not been able to contain him. If they backed off him for 1 second, he made them pay.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy told the team. He said we've got to pick it up right here, right now. If we're going to win this game, we have to take control. This is the time. Kevin.
Here's Griffin. Outside Jackson. There's the triple. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Griffin's got 4 assists in the game.
There it is. Just lined it up and knocked it down. His first 3 of the half, 2nd of the game.
Now here's Murray. 3-pointer, Barton. Detroit with the rebound. Griffin's got 13 rebounds in the game. Conceding. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And this is where the team is starting to rely on Andre. They need a big bucket. He provides it.
Chandler dishes to Barton. Out to the wing. Lets a floater go. Second shot opportunity. And no good. Great D that time from Griffin. On the wing, Jackson. He's covered by Murray.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. Both free throws good from Jackson. Denver's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. To the inside. Out to Chandler. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. And that's 13 points for Wilson Chandler.
His teammate was wide open there. Definitely the right choice to pass it out and let him take the shot.
Jackson passes to Drummond. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. And stolen by Murray. And the Nuggets pushing it up now. Knocks it loose.
I'm not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor. This is what the team needs from Jackson. Leadership when the game heats up.
Now here's Barton. Tight defense on him. And there it is for him.
What a shot over the bigger defender. That could prove to be a massive bucket.
That's coming up big in the clutch. Rising up and burying it.
Now here's Jackson. Here's Griffin. And then Griffin with the dunk.
That's a big bucket for Blake. Teammates have to love that shot.
1:37 left in the game. Chandler with a screen for Barton. Jokic with a screen on Griffin. Millsap misses.
That's one of those where you think you've got it, you relax for just a second, and then you're kicking yourself.
Jokic with the steal. Barton outside. 1:09 left to play in the final quarter. And yes, it's good. Millsap's got 9 points now in just the second half.
Millsap going for the W. He's looking focused.
Jackson kicks to Johnson. Drummond a screen. Johnson dishes to Griffin. Johnson the pass to Griffin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Goes up the baseline. Connects.
Well, that is NBA level right there.
It's the way the game is supposed to be played. Guys competing at the highest level.
Denver calls timeout. They're behind by 3. There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. To the middle. Here's Barton. Here's Chandler. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. First free throw is good, and that brings them within 2 here. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
Yeah, being down 2 points instead of 1 thanks to the free throw miss makes getting a stop here absolutely critical.
Millsap has the open look. Denver gets it back.
Yeah, just nice hustle there. That work gets them the extra possession.
We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possessions.
Outside Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Count it.
full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
Yes, and you're watching. Even this late in the game, they're still making plays. You got to love watching it.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. They're down by 4. 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
I mean, tough position, but really they can't blame anybody but themselves.
They've certainly missed on some opportunities, but stranger things have happened. They need a quick shot and an immediate foul right here.
And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it matters most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans home happy.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Blake, you really got it going inside tonight. Was that one of your primary objectives?
Yeah, that's something we talked about. You know, we talked about not being complacent, settling for jump shots, talked about getting to the hole and playing stuff on defense, and I thought that's what our guys did tonight.
Really controlled the paint at both ends, Blake. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.